Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's the Mac. Welcome back to a brand new game released from Wargame Design Studio. Panzer Campaigns Poland 39. Brand spanking new. I want to thank Wargame Design Studio for letting me have this review copy to showcase on the channel and to show you guys the further expansion of the Panzer Campaigns series of the company. So, Poland 39 is just what it says. This has been actually a long-awaited title for the Polish campaign, right at the beginning of the war there. So, this is a very interesting and very well game, I gotta say. So, very much anticipated, and I will just basically skim through the game content and some stuff, and I've got some grasp of it, but it comes with a massive punch, man. There's a lot of stuff to unravel in this game. The game was actually released last Friday, so it's Monday today. So the release is a bit delayed, but I haven't had time to record until now. So, well, where to start? Yeah, so this is what the game looks like when you fire it up. For you guys who've been following my channel, or for every new subscriber and stuff, I have tons of playlists covering Panzer Campaign titles. So you know the deal, how I usually do it, or otherwise you will find out. Anyway, let's go check out the page here. So this is the release. The game is actually published by actually the game is made from this guy Mike Prucha. He has done a lot of good stuff for Wargame Design Studio. As you can see, he made the Shell 44. I've covered that on the channel. France 40, of course. He did the expansion for the France 40 title. He did like some really revised beasts of scenarios for this game. Really, really good. If you haven't checked these titles out, some really, I mean, especially for the France, he made like an expansion campaign there that was just, oh man, the amount of research in that is just nuts. He does some great jobs, I gotta tell you. So for this game, I think he even had to make a new map. He says the map began as an expansion of the East Prussia map that's included in the First World War campaign titles. So lots of work has been gone down this. Also, the game covers the complete German and Soviet campaigns between 1st of September to October 3rd, 1940. They have Fall Weiss, a short. They have the long version of it. This is when the Russians come into play and stuff. They have Piotrov, Trubinalski. So Gdynia, Bezura, Warsaw, Brezek, Lvov, all these famous locations during the Polish campaign there. It has 77 scenarios. The longest one is 348 turns, man. So, yeah. That's quite a slugfest to go through there. And they have scenarios from like 4 turns to 158 and stuff. So, same deal with the game scales. 1 hex is a kilometer and a turn is 2 hours. It's the same. We have battalion size and company size units. Lots of research into this. They have armored trains and stuff that's going to be covered in it as well. So this is from the release of the page there. The game is also like a brand new version. It's 405.2 now, and they have a lot of updates, bug fixes. Actually, the bug fixes are a lot. And this is so probably all Panzer Campaign titles are going to be, upgraded to this version. So they have, yeah, I'm not going to read all that. You could pause the video and have a look at it. But there's a lot. But the enhancements are also very interesting. So they added the functionality for the objectives to have a start turn. The enter key hides the jump map. Okay. All main AI parameters can now be specified per side. Direct orders will now ignore the engaged and frontline checks entirely during march, but not deploy. Okay. For deployment, direct orders will honor the engaged and frontline checks. AI fixed to reduce instances of HQ and artillery units moving too close to contact. That's good. AI fixed to reduce the instance support units moving on their own to order destinations. Okay, when the AI is activated on player turn, don't auto advance to the next turn. Okay. Wow, look at all these enhancements, man. There's lots. Properly cascaded player, reduced amount of level 1 logging. All bridges have PDT values now. I mean, look at all this. There's so much. Indirect fire can now downgrade bunkers, trench, and improve hexes. Wow, that's a cool feature because that's something that haven't been covered before in these games. You know, you can pound like a bunker complex for like days, and not they won't be reduced in effectiveness, but they will now because sooner or later you're going to be grinding those bunkers down a bit. You know, if you keep hammering them with heavy artillery and stuff. Yeah, lots of stuff. Bombing scatter probably is probability is now in the PDT. All right, so parameter data. Okay, so yeah. Differentials between not present and eliminated. Okay. Wow. So lots of enhancements, man. So the almighty notes that comes with this game is, I gotta say, very well done. You know, it actually says right off the bat. So it says, the purpose of this document is not to provide an exhaustive description of the events of the campaign or the military organization and equipment of the combatant nations. There are plenty of books devoted to these topics. Instead, the purpose is to provide some background to each scenario, to address some of the design decisions made in the deployment of Panzer Campaigns Poland 39, and to address some questions that players may have. So, what actually is a huge difference in these notes is that usually Wargame Design Studio has quite a lot of like historical narratives and a lot of like the background information and stuff that comes in these almighty notes, you know, the notes. But, you know, a lot of that stuff you can actually if you just want to like do real fast research, you just log on to YouTube and you will find tons and tons of, you know, videos covering different conflicts and you know, campaigns and stuff, and you can get like a pretty good idea what the hell was going on by just watching like a, you know, 10 to 15, 20, 30-minute videos on you will find out basically every single detail, you know. And of course, if you pick up the book on the subject, you will learn a lot as well. So I understand. I mean, there's no real point anymore to maybe have all that stuff written in the notes because people can just research it themselves so easy. So it's also, I like that this document is just focusing on the scenarios and the campaigns, and it's very well, you know, written and clear. So you know exactly, you know, what type of optional rules you should have, what some house rules if you're playing versus a human opponent and stuff, things to think about, you know, and that's really what you need. So because sometimes you can get lost in Wargame Design Studio games if you don't like. There's so many different options. Sometimes you're like, you know, what's best, what's default and stuff. So, excuse me. So, lots of good stuff there. So they have, unless otherwise noted, each scenario should be played with the following set of default rules, and they're all here. Boom, you know. Though not a default rule, delayed disruption reporting. This nasty rule right here. Yeah, that is. If you want to bring these games to a new level, you know, this rule is often overlooked because it is a hassle, man. And it's actually a very realistic rule that I think it should be default, but it also has an impact on the game. It sort of slows down the game a lot because you will never really be, you know, totally 100% at knowing if the enemy forces are completely disrupted or not. I mean, you will get it, but it could take like a turn or two before your frontline units engaged with the enemy realize that the enemy is actually pretty disrupted and, you know, are not coordinating themselves very well, you know. So, because remember, we're dealing with big formations here, we're like, you know, battalions and a couple of companies and stuff. So, you know, it would take time to realize that the enemy has, you know, something has happened and you could sort of, you know, capitalize on some weakness or something. You wouldn't know it just from maybe one artillery barrage, you know. You wouldn't know if the enemy was still, you know, manning their trenches and not, you know, losing their hopes of defending and stuff. So, yeah, this is a love and hate rule for sure. I'm actually playing off camera now a pretty big campaign in the Bulge with my buddy Ash, and we're playing one of the massive new revised campaigns in the Bulge 44, and we're playing with the delayed disruption, and it's a nightmare because you never really know, or it might be too late to know when to actually attack an enemy, because if you're not playing with it on, as soon as you will, otherwise you will immediately find out if the enemy's disrupted, and you could probably that you can go for an assault if you got fresh troops and stuff. Anyway, I was getting off topic there, but these are the default rules. I like it that it's stated here, and then it just starts, man. These special notes, they just start by all these 77 scenarios that comes with the game, and very clearly stated, campaign 01A, 01B. Boom, this is what you need to read about those campaigns. It's all here. Here you also have like historical statements and historical setups, what went down and the backdrop. And then they have like notes on the objectives. There's a new features in this game that need to be addressed for sure. I think it comes with these, could be with these objectives, because there's more like timed objectives now that you need to capture them by a certain amount of time, or the enemy will retain that. You sort of lost initiative, you haven't advanced fast enough, and the enemy will get like a strategic advantage over you because you're bogged down and stuff. So it's not entirely new. It's been around in the war games before, but I think they're sort of taking those objective rules a bit more serious now, because it sort of adds a lot to the realism, and it also adds something to the player, attacking or advancing, that you can't just slouch around and sort of slowly grind your opponent down, because it's going to take time. And usually how these campaigns were won, where the forces were engaged, they were blitzkrieging, they were moving forward fast, taking terrain, bypassing strong points just to get behind enemy, send secondary formations up to mop up those pockets that were surrounded or isolated. So a lot of that stuff is being taken into account. So it says that the objective hexes in the interior of the country do not expire. However, the Polish player must carefully consider whether a given hex can be held, or whether its point value justifies the losses that it must sustain in defending it. So these are really cool stuff. The objective hexes in the border defenses expire after a set time. Some of these are unlikely to be captured by the German player before they expire, and are not directly considered in the victory conditions. However, if the Polish player abandons them prematurely, he will cede points to the Germans. So, yeah. So it's all explained here. So these, of course, will be your meat of the... Let's just look at the game here. So it starts right off the bat here with these. So they have two different versions, as it said before. They have the 158 turn version, which is let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, this is the short version of the scenario. It lasts from September 1st to the 16th, ending before the Soviet invasion. And then they have the huge one actually there's two. Yeah, so it looks like every single scenario is actually scripted, which is awesome, man. So they're all scripted, but some of them made, like for this one here, you play the Allies defending, short campaign. Here you play the Germans attacking. Actually, so it's Allied human versus Axis AI. So it's the other way around. Axis AI, yeah. And the B one is the huge one with the Russians involved. And then you have all these here, C, D, E, and F. I think these are alternate versions of the real thing. So if we go down, see, there's actually a lot of information given to you in these campaigns, how to play them, And there's house rules as well, which, to make it realistic, to play them sort of realistic, like there's some house rules. And here you have these. So these scenarios are hypothetical variants of the campaign. So you have the C version lasts until 5th October, but there's no Soviet invasion. Player does not have to worry about the threat from the east, but no exit hexes will appear to allow him to score points through evacuation. The D version is considered what might have happened if the Polish army had been fully mobilized on the September 1st. Polish receives more units at the start of the game, but will receive fewer reinforcements. Cool. They have the E version, is considers the possibility of the Western Allies exerting more effort to help Poland. The Polish army starts fully mobilized. The Germans will receive fewer reinforcements, and some of the units will be withdrawn early. The assumption being that they must be used to counter a more vigorous Tsar offensive. Okay, and then they have the F is that there is no Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. So for people who don't know, these were the what's it called now? They were Molotov and Ribbentrop, where this was the Russian and Ribbentrop was the German. What's it called in English? I can't remember. They were the Secretary of Foreign Affairs. Maybe I can't remember the exact word of it, but they were the ones dealing with each other, and they made a pact. That's why it was called, because the Germany and Russia made a pact to divide Poland, between them. It's kind of, the Soviets were actually sort of allied with the Nazis in the beginning of the war to carve up, Poland. So, there's some pretty bad things happening there. Okay, then it starts to be, divided. So now when they have all those heavy duty scenarios covered, it starts like I think I would say almost all Panzer Campaign titles in the catalog is that you usually have some of the the full campaigns, and then you get scenarios covering sections of that campaign. Different offensives, different scenarios, different sort of attack vectors, and so it's more easy to play basically if you don't want to duke out the 158 turns, whatever. So this border, I think this actually covers all the border crossings into the into Poland there. So border, yeah. So there's a scenario briefing. Okay, so the short version of the scenario ends September. So there's different versions of them as well, of course. There's the short and long versions. The German player wins through a combination of capturing objective hexes and force destruction. Yeah, so this is what you gotta move fast, capture objectives, isolate and destroy as much of the can of the Polish army to score a major victory there. If the Polish army escapes, victory might not be that certain. So yeah, this is all the borders. The Polish land forces will be divided into 6 principal fields. So you need to do some research, basically. I'm not an expert on. I've actually covered the Polish invasion in another game on this channel. Can't remember now what the game is called, but I did the Polish invasion in that game, and then I sort of went over some of the strategies used by the Germans and stuff. But it's a long time ago now. So see if I remember it. Anyway, so it goes on here. We have the Milawa. This is between the 1st and the 3rd. So this is assembled in East Prussia. George von Kuchel's Third Army was to advance on the Vistula from the north and pressure the Modin fortress and Warsaw. Von Kuchel's assigned First Corps to make the main effort, consisting of 2 infantry divisions and a Panzer division Kempf. The corps was to advance south via the road junction at Milawa. 216th Infantry Division would advance on First Corps' right wing, while Corps Woodrig and 1st Cavalry Brigade attacked on the left. Yeah. So yeah, now they're dividing them up. So they have Promosa, General Vladislav Botranovsky was given the unenviable task of defending Pomerania and the southern portion of the Polish corridor. So we're going to fire one of the big ones up. Grudziat, Warta, there's a lot. Mokra, Slask, north, it's just north. So straddling either side of the Polish corridor. So here you have a bigger force, the south area. Jordanov. So this is the German border. Okay, a couple of fortifications designed to protect its all important coal mines and steel mills. With just 7 battalions, you had to defend a pretty big area there. So yeah, so it goes on, man. There's a lot of really cool. We can have a look in the game as well. So, but what I like is that there's just a really good extensive documentations about all this stuff. It's amazing. I like the setup, and it's very easy to access different scenarios, and I like its chronological order as well. It's easy to find stuff. So very well made. Some other documentation that comes with the game is very useful. Is this the summary info? They come with every game. They sort of give you good, fast information about different, fire restrictions. Not allowed if the attacker is broken or rail mode. It says fire value modifiers. It's disrupted to lower ammo digging in. You have a half for each. Fired broken unit is half firepower as well. And here you have the bonuses for the quality of the unit. Only A and B basically get bonuses. C won't get anything. Fatigue modifiers. So they have all this information here. Things to think about when you're assaulting. Command ranges. Some miscellaneous, fatigue, accumulation, recovery. The unit must not move, fire, or assault, be fired upon, or be assaulted for a complete game turn. You must also not be digging in, building a bridge, or be in a minefield. So that's how you recover your unit fatigue there. Terrain charts, all this stuff. It's actually a really good PDF. Has lots of good information. So there's also getting started, as comes with every game. This is really good. I've actually played this off camera. It was fun. Very good scenario. It's sort of, teaches you the basics of the game, artillery, assaulting, moving. Also takes up, bridge, how to, handle bridges and stuff. So, and air assaults and all that stuff. So it was a pretty good scenario. I really liked it. It was fast to play through as well. So it's actually a very hard one because the Polish have demolition teams here. So if you're unlucky, both bridges will be blown, and you will have to rely upon other forces to take this hex here. So very good. Getting started there. So the user manual these days is huge. It's 245 pages now. It's quite extensive, but extremely well written. And you have the search option to find for keywords and stuff, and it's all here. These manuals are very well written, I gotta say. Really, really good stuff. So I do recommend to sort of at least skim through this. But the best way to in these titles is actually to play to get started, and start with sort of a small, medium scenario, and start playing the game. And when you stumble upon things, you refer to the user manual and read the paragraph. If you're just like struggling with engineers, like what the heck, man, what the hell, engineers, man. You go in there and you read about the engineers, what they do and what they can do and stuff, and then you'll have a pretty good grasp of using them. So very, very easy manual, I gotta say. All right, and we're back. So let's look at the game here then. So they have done quite a lot of enhancements to this game, like sound and stuff, and I think graphics have been a bit tweaked and stuff. And I noticed differences in this version compared to the others. So just for fun. This is to open up I could show you what it looks like. So this is the small. Well, these would probably be identical, even though this is just 348 turns, but that's because it's covering the Russian invasion as well, and this would be the Axis. This will be just before the Russians invade. So you just play the Germans versus the Polish in this one. But let's just fire it up and see. Sure, let's just keep it. Have a look at it. It's massive. Actually, it takes a while to load. And I have an actually quite modern computer, but wow, there's a lot of information to load on these maps because this is a huge map. I can tell it's covering the whole Poland, man. It's massive. So that takes time to fire up. And now I actually chose to display both forces, so it has to read in all the units of the Polish as well. So here we go. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear it. I'm not sure, but I have to turn my volume up a bit. Yeah, so there's like new sounds in the background now. You have this like rumbling of artillery and weather. You can hear it's raining. Stuff. So yeah. So there's a huge command report here, of course. New logos as well. The graphics are the same. I would say it's they have obviously new icons and stuff. So let's look at the big picture here. Yeah, here you go. Look at this. Here you go, man. Right. So there was different prongs of attack of the Germans. They were coming from the north down to reach Warsaw. They had forces in the south. I think they even had some Czechoslovakian forces. Yeah. So they were coming there. They were coming. They were attacking here. They wanted to cut the salient off to isolate these forces, and this salient here as well. The Polish actually put quite a lot of forces in this pocket, but they were cut off. The Germans. The Germans actually managed to cut this off and isolate a huge part of the Polish forces. That they didn't have time to escape. Of course, you have Danzig as well that was captured. You have a lot of forces here already. It's like a whole division in there, I think. Yeah, these are the Germans. And here you had the Panzer divisions were poised to attack as well. Yes, you can find the commanders here. Let's see. You had Kushla was in the north. See, he had a pretty big operation. He had a lot under his command here. He was going to smash down. He was going to take these towns to meet up with some of the German forces coming from the west there. Here's Milawa. That is pretty well defended here. There's some forces here. So he had huge forces here. He was in charge of the whole northern attack group there. What else we got here? Lutzen. What else? Look at the size of this thing, man. It's massive. I really like it. Wow. I'm gonna be cracking on this, man. We're gonna be doing some good let's plays of this. What else we got? Yeah, so we had forces coming from here as well. Kaupish. That's not the one I'm thinking about. Actually, Kapish. Maybe he had, because there were forces advancing here as well. You had some panzer divisions in the south here. They wanted to quickly smash up and grab Butlov. This is the Wisla River running through. Trying to find it like it's so big, man. What's this? So many units here, man. Yes, in the south we had Rommel is supposed to be here somewhere. he was part of this. Not sure where he was, what he was in charge of. He didn't have that same division commander he had in France. You have so many units here. Kinitz. Wow, look at all this. Slovenia, Slovenska Polski. Wow. Bio. Yeah, wasn't there some forces arriving here? Yeah, these. Yeah. Wow. As you can see, man, it's huge. Actually, let's see. Yeah, so, wow, look at these forces. What's this? Yeah, these are divisions that were. Yeah, you have the 3D as well. Don't think the 3D has been like improved and stuff. It's the same. Same graphics. Just trying to find the hex. Wow, it's amazing. Obviously, this would be the best to play it. Yes, we have Warsaw here, man. So that's 2,000 victory points there. 2,000. I haven't checked that. Let's look at the victory conditions. It'll be fun to see. Wow, you need 40,000 for a major. It's quite a bit. It's quite a bit. So these divisions here were smashing down pretty fast. Yeah, these German divisions here. We have 18th Infantry Division. Yeah, you have the 19th. These were some of the first units to attack, I think. I mean, the main thrust. Here we have the 1st Panzer Division. Oh, there's not that badasses, you know. They got morale C and stuff. They're not those A and B forces. You know, here we have the 4th Panzer Division. I wonder where Rommel is. I wonder if I can find him. It'd be fun to see. Let's see. View. Oh, let's see. I know you can search for it. Find unit. Not sure if we can get it by just typing Rommel. Is that him? No. No. I think you're supposed to be able to find that. Let's see. Find unit. Find organization. Here we go. Wow, look at this. You have Kriegsmarine. Wow. This is amazing. Look at all the OBs here, man. It's insane. No, I don't think you would be able to find it just by There's so many units here. I might be wrong, but no, I think he was. He had some command here. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. Cool, but as you can see, this. I hope you guys got a pretty good grasp of the situation here, man. Look at the size of this thing, massive. So, for instance, yeah. So these are the smaller ones. This is the huge ones. I mean, there's not. Obviously, it's not going to be a difference. I think in this the main event, because it's going to be the same units. There's going to be more reinforcements, more turns to be played, and the Russians, of course, are going to be coming to play as well. So this looks very interesting, man. This looks very, very interesting. Wow, look at it takes a long time to open those big files. Yeah. We could just have a look here, actually. Let's see what command he had. I just want to look it up. It'd be fun to see him. Here we go. Rommel was promoted to General Major, man, and assigned as commander of Führerbegleitbataillon, tasked with guarding Hitler and his field headquarters during the invasion of Poland. Okay. According to Remy, Rommel's private letters at this time show that he did not understand Hitler's true nature of intentions. Okay, so Führerbegleitbataillon. I wonder if that is even in the game. I don't think Hitler is. I don't think you can see him anywhere. Just see if we can find Hitler. Lieberstandarte, Adolf Hitler. Yeah, so there was the SS. Yeah, the Lieberstandarte was present. Yeah, not that big, huh? Dietrich. Okay, he was in charge of that. I didn't know that. Yeah, so I don't think so many units here. It's crazy. What's it called? Führer? Nah, it's not on the map. But I mean, if it was, it would probably be something like way off in the corner somewhere. Yeah. Cool. So he was in charge of that. I thought he might be in charge of one of the attacking units, but I guess he got his metal tested in France. Let's move on. Yeah. So as you can see, there was no big difference here. It's the same. The map is expanded here though, for the Russians to come here. To come on the map as reinforcements, I would imagine. Wow, they're going to be moving through like marshes, man. It looks pretty bad for them to attack through there. Yeah, so as you can see, it goes on. Yeah, so for instance, this border, if you open that up, just show you, it's actually the same map. It's just that it's a couple of days, and you just get to play like the border crossings into Poland. So the Polish were, for the first thing, they were outnumbered a lot, and they hadn't, been able to, as you can see in this. Actually, no, it's just covering the west side of the border. Yeah, actually where the Germans attacked. So they haven't got the rest there. It's just a couple of days to attack across the borders. The Polish actually were, the Germans were completely dominating the skies as well with the Luftwaffe and stuff. So they were well prepared for this attack, and they had different doctrines and stuff, the Blitzkrieg attacks, and they were moving really fast. and the Polish were. I mean, the Polish were basically on their own. You know, nobody came to their aid, and it's always been this debate. You know, that if France and the British forces had sort of attacked Germany while the Germans were like sending their whole army into Poland, they could have sort of maybe ended the war prematurely by smashing into Germany and capturing Berlin. You know, then the Germans would have have a hard time, just getting this victory so fast. But this is here you can see more. Wow, look at all these forces here. Yeah, so there is a lot of forces present here. The Polish had a lot of forces in this pocket here. Okay, the Germans are pretty close here, man. I like the graphic icons. They're really nice. Pretty weak forces defending here, man. Like 35 men. Small sort of, garrisons, troops. Under immense pressure from the Germans there. And they have trenches and stuff, but not that many fortifications. I think in the north they had some fortifications. Here I know that it was very hard for the Germans. Yeah, here you have some bunkers and stuff. These bunkers. This defense line was actually called something. Can't really remember what it was called, but wow, the map is so big. This fortification line here. There's a lot of bunkers here. Yeah. And I think the Germans sort of bypassed it. They didn't smash straight through them. Sort of, they went around. But wow, very interesting there. Let's see if I can open one of the more smaller ones. So that was border. Here we have Mlawa offensive. It's should be the let's see. It should be the northern attack. Yes, it's where I just was. This is the Mlawa here, and this is the attack to that basically. Polish got some reserves here. They have obviously very little tanks, and they had very little in the way of good anti-tank. I think they had decent anti-tank guns though, but not so many. Look at this, heavy machine gun company there. Yeah, these are not that great. Here we go. Yeah, they got the 37 millimeter WZ 36 there. Okay. Yeah, so pretty cool stuff. Mlawa, Pomorze. I'm just going through and showing you guys a bit scenarios. I'm not going to go into a lot of the historical stuff. I probably will do that when I do the Let's Play. Let's see, where's this? Okay, so that should be... I think this is the pocket, yeah. Should be the pocket. Marienburg. Got some badass forces down here. What's this? This is the Dow 15 DP. Okay, pretty spread out. Yeah, so the list goes on, man. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff. I wonder if there's anything where the Russians come in. Let's see, what's this? October 2nd. October 2nd, okay. These are the Germans. Fable de Foul. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I could just sit and click all day. It's gonna make a boring video, but anyway, I hope you showcased enough of the game. We're gonna do a let's play of this. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to do some research off camera what to play here, but there's some really interesting stuff here. Many of the scenarios are you know, quite extensive. You know, there are 28 turns and stuff. 48. This one is a short one, 6 turns. But you know, 8 turns, 16. That seems doable. So this is 4 days into the operation there. So yeah, there are some smaller scenarios. 15 turns, 14. So there is quite a few actually. With you know, doable amount of turns. 22 is also pretty doable. So lots. There's some 15 there. 12 turns. Yeah, some 18. That's a good number. Yeah, so there's quite a bit. So we'll have a look at that. So I think I'm going to end it here. This is going to be my first introductory video of the Panzer Campaigns Poland 39 man. Brand new game. And we're going to be going into it more deeply in the Let's Play and have a look at. I'm going to do some reading about some particular battle, see how it goes. So I think I'm going to end it here, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys are going to be getting this game, because complete your Panzer Campaigns collection. So now before it was the France 40, that was sort of the earliest endeavor in the series, but now you have actually the whole Polish campaign as well, which looks amazing. So I want to thank you for watching, man, and I hope you guys tune in for the next episode. Like and subscribe and stuff helps me a lot, and I will see you in the next part. Have a good one.